Hey guys, so the car today which we want to review is the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. So I have the keys with me, a nice sleek looking key with the big Mercedes logo in it. So here's the car. It's the C300d. Mercedes-Benz launched this car in the year 1993, the first generation model. This is the fourth generation model. C-Class is codenamed as W205. C-Class is built under MRA platform, that is the modular rear architectural platform, which is shared by the E and the S-Class. It's 100 kgs lighter but more stronger. C-Class comes in 4 body styles: the sedan, the coupe, the station wagon and the cabriolet. The exterior designer of the C-Class is Michel Paganetti and the interior designer is Robert Lesnick. There is a more powerful version of C-Class in a coupe style, that is the C63 and the C43 AMG. In the C-Class, C denotes compact, that's the nature of the car, the compact executive sedan. A big Mercedes logo in between with a diamond cut radiator grille, which is exclusive for this variant. This car gets all LED lights, which Mercedes calls it the multi-beam. They just work so seamlessly. They work with the sensor on the windshield automatically depending upon the traffic condition ahead of the driver. AMG bumpers. This car gets 5 parking sensors at the front and 5 parking sensors at the rear. Air curtains in the bumper for the good aerodynamics of the car. C-Class comes in 3 trim levels: the Prime, the Progressive and the AMG line. You get petrol and a diesel version. These are the AMG 5-spoke light alloy wheels. They are 18 inches and run on 225/45 section tires. They are very impressive for this car. Mercedes-Benz written on the windshield, a nice touch. This is the sensor for the multi-beam to work. It acts as a camera and a rain sensing wiper here as well. Look at the creases on the car. It just starts from the headlights and this all the way goes back to the rear and the shoulder line and just disappears. Nice creases. The blacked out ORVMs, they are heated and with an auto folding function. This being a night edition, it gets a lot of black touches to it, like the blacked out ORVMs, the blacked out window line, the blacked out sunroof, the roof, and it gets the gloss black finishing on the AMG wheels. It gets a dual sunroof setup. This car measures around 4600 millimeters in length, 1800 millimeters in width, and it is 1400 millimeters tall. This car gets 157 mm of ground clearance and it gets a turning radius of 5.6 mm. Mercedes is being manufactured at Berman plant in Germany and it's exported to India, Brazil, China, USA and other European countries. This car gets a 3-year standard warranty with unlimited kilometers with roadside assistance. This is how the rear looks. It gets a diffuser setup which looks really cool on the car. It gives a good character to the car. Though it is a fake setup, it doesn't look that way. It's well executed. These are the rear tail lights. It's a full LED unit. It gets a C-type, inverted C-type lights. Rear AMG bumpers with air curtains to it. It gets a big Mercedes logo in between, the 3-pointed star. C300d written. Let's open the boot. It just pops up. The boot carrying capacity of the car is 480 liters, which is decent for the sedan size. And this is a spare wheel which is on the top, which is quite a hindrance for the cargo space. They are steel wheels. You get nets, dedicated lights, hooks here, a big stop lamp, LED stop lamp, reflectors for safety. You get indication for the boot open light, that's also for safety, and a grab handle here. This is the lever to push back the rear seat. It's 40-60 split. The aperture is good. Loading in and out will not be a problem. You get a pop-up camera here, which when you engage the reverse gear, it just pops out. A nice touch. No car in the segment gets this feature. And this is for the aerodynamics of the car. Let's get into the back seat. Doors open wide. This car gets a saddle brown interior finish. You get an option of black and beige as well. The wooden inlays, the open pore wooden inlays looks good. Aluminum door handles. You get aluminum switches for the window control. You get white stitching on the door pads for the armrest. Good stitching on the door pads. Everything is given attention. It's well finished. Door indication light. All soft touch. You get dedicated sun blinds for the rear passengers. So this is how the rear seat squab looks. The under-thigh support feels little less compared to the segment. You get 3 adjustable headrests. And isofix mounts on the rear seat for safety. A sliding armrest. Cup holders open in style. You get a storage space underneath for the tablet and mobile phone. This is how the door looks when it's closed. Dedicated aircon vents with nice aluminum finish to it. A dedicated speed controller, ashtray, and a 12-volt charging socket for the rear passenger. A big transmission tunnel like all German cars. It's strictly a 2-seater at the rear. You get airplane like storage spaces behind the seats. So this is how the dashboard looks from the rear. The C-Class interior is inspired by Merck's sports car, the AMG GT, keeping the practicality in mind. The dashboard gets a floating setup. You get dual sunroof setup for the rear passenger as well. It's a glass roof actually. And you get a reading lamp for the rear passenger, which is placed very well, and a hook here with the grab handle. The door closed with a good thud. On the safety front, this car gets active distance control, active steering assist, ABS, EBD, brake assist, ESP, tire pressure monitoring system, attention assist, front and rear parking sensors. There's a BS6 diesel written here. It gets a 180-degree angle view rear camera and a hands-free parking as well. This is how the front door looks. It gets host of features to it. Look at the finishing of the door pads. You get 3 memory functions and fully electrical adjustable front seats. Everything is adjustable. Open four wood inlays, speaker, aluminum door handles, lock unlock button, and aluminum buttons for the window switches, white stitching for the door pad armrest, saddle bone color finish. You get a boot opener here, aluminum finish to it. This is how the front seats look. The front seats are well bolstered and gets a lumbar support, and it's fully adjustable. You can see the under thigh support, how it works this way. Mercedes Benz written on the scuff plate. Toll free details, chassis number and the grub weight, push button start and light control switches, and a ticket holder, parking brake. You get sports pedal exclusive for this trim level. So this is how the steering wheel looks. It gets a flat bottom multifunction steering wheel, which is AMG type thing. A nice chunky steering wheel, aluminum touches to it, a big Mercedes logo in between. It gets touchpad controllers. You get perforated letter 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock driving position. The right touchpad is to control the fully digital instrument cluster, and the left touchpad is to control the multimedia screen. You get electric steering assist. This is also first in the segment. You get paddle shifters in aluminum finished. This is the gear selector, the Mercedes style, a 9G tronic gearbox. This is for the wiper control, indicator, and to activate the multi-beam light. This is how the fully digital 12.3 inch instrument cluster looks. It has a lot of skins to it, like the Sport, the Classic, and the Progressive. My personal favorite is the Progressive because it changes the whole appearance of the screen. You have radio, navigation, trip, assistance, and service. A lot of controls here. In trip you have the driving pattern, distance to empty. You can even adjust the RPM meter. like the sat nav. You get driving pattern here as well. Distance empty. You get a G-force meter with the RPM meter. That's a nice touch. Cool looking cockpit like instrument cluster. This is the 10.25-inch floating multimedia screen. This is not a touch screen. It's been operated by the touchpads and the command system. You have settings, input, audio, connectivity, Bluetooth devices, time and date, vehicle settings. You get light settings. This car gets 64 color ambient lighting, and this is how you can adjust the lights according to your preference. This is the Thermatic dual zone climate control. It's been operated by this airplane like buttons. It gets a good Noel finishing to it, a clock in the between and shortcut buttons. This is how the center console opens. You get a wireless charging, which is very important for today's day and age. Cup holders, ashtray, USB port, and this is the command system. It has host of controls to it, like the dynamic drive select, parking off on, auto parking button, eco switch. You get a volume controller, on off switch for the multimedia screen, and this is for the sun blind, rear sun blind, sway wheel and a touchpad controller here as well. I'll show you how the rear sun blind operates with a click of a button. Very comfortable feature for the summers. So this is how the dashboard looks. It gets a 9 speaker setup with 225 watts of output, glove box, dedicated light to it, good felt finishing inside. It gets a lock to it as well. Even the co-passenger seats gets all electric seats like the driver seat, and the same finishing, same controls. The center armrest opens in style as well. You get 2 USB ports and a SD card reader here, and there is a little space underneath to keep your phone for charge and place it there. This is for the interior lighting of the car. This looks like an airplane like lights, the sunglass holder, this is switches for the interior lighting, the front and the rear, and the sunroof switch. That's how it gets operated. It's a big panoramic view and gets a secondary roof as well, but that doesn't open. It's a glass roof. This roof, the front roof, opens up wide. It is a rain sensing sunroof. It gives a good view from inside. Let's pop into the engine bay and give you a few details about the engine spec. This car gets active bonnet for the pedestrian safety and Merck's pre-safe system. All the windows shuts and sunroof shuts before the impact. The bonnet just opens up. It gets hydraulic struts to it. So this is the inline 4-cylinder 2-liter unit, which produces 245 bhp of power with a massive 500 Newton meters of torque. A well laid out engine bay, insulation done. So this car cost around 60 lakh rupees depending upon the state where you live. So that's it, the review of the car. If you like the video, do subscribe the channel and comment below. Thank you.